update on the monthly recurring revenue. This week we're still at $480.98 without a change. It's good because it hasn't gone down, not good because it hasn't gone up. But it really couldn't have gone up because we're not set up to take payments from new customers, really. So it's as good as it gets. So I'm still working on fixing the major issue that my app has with regards to new people signing up. In the last 2 days, I've already gotten 2 support messages on the messaging feature of the app, where they can just send me a message when they're having an issue with logging in or registering. And yeah, it's just proving how big of an issue this is, and I need to get this done, and it's taken forever. So everything else takes a backseat. Today was a good day. It just feels good because I made some progress in the major component that I'm rewriting. Obviously, coding. So it feels good to know that I'm not stuck and I just need more time to finish it. At the same time, I'm not done, and it's it's taking a lot longer than I anticipated. As per usual, developer estimates are really off, and I feel very slow at making progress. I guess one the really good thing that's really motivating me that happened today is these. I get these little chimes that come up as notifications on my computer, and it goes like this: like, and it's a beautiful sound that I'm totally addicted to because it means somebody is using the app, or they're on their marketing website and they're asking me a question. And it's really, really great because it's the beginning of a conversation. So I can either help them answer the question right away if there's a straightforward answer, or I can learn more about something that the customer is trying to do, and I get feedback on how to improve the app. What often happens is there's these feature ideas that I already have from previous discussions with customers, and new customers come in and they're like, well, how do I do this? And it's something that I'm planning to do. And it's just like really exciting because then I get like really itchy to start working on a new feature, which is probably, now that I've verbalized it, it's not a great thing because I should focus on selling and marketing it and doing that type of work. But since at the moment, anyways, I'm stuck doing a lot of the work, if not all of it, it's interesting. Anyways, so today a few customer requests came in, and one of them was from a customer who I was worried of losing last week. And that turns out to be not the case at all. When they're just trying to make the app do more for them, which I love, because the more that the app can do, the more value it can provide, the better. And it's some of the features they brought up are things that I'm already considering, and they're in the roadmap. So I scheduled a call with them to talk on Friday to talk about where they see the gaps and how I could improve the app. So I'm very excited about that. This concept of the customer asking you for stuff, it can cut both ways. Like, I used to have a different in my last startup, which I sold. I wasn't really in love with the app. It was something that I inherited, It was an open source project that I ended up making into a premium project uh, by improving it and so on. But I was still very much like not in love with it. It was, I felt pretty awful about it. And in those scenarios, when a customer request comes in, it's often met with dread, and it's not something that I'm excited about because I'm like, oh no, they're gonna ask about this impossible thing that I know sucks, and for whatever reason, for numerous reasons, I cannot do anything about because of the infrastructure or the platform, the existing code, and so on. So it's not a good feeling. However, the current app, everything has been set up to hopefully prevent that, and it's such a like it's a way better experience for the customer, and the requests that I know are coming in are not like nasty bugs. They're coming in, I mean, not nasty bugs except for the one that I've been trying to fix for weeks on end here. When the requests come in, they usually want something extra, and it's really fun to kind of tease out where the customer is trying to go with the app, what value I can provide for them, and so on. So yeah, it. This is one of the momentum builders for me, and I realize momentum is very sacred in this game, and once you have it, you really want to try hard to keep it because when it's gone, it's really, really hard to get it back. I feel like I have not yet explained the origin story of Commerce Owl, and it's kind of a good segue because somebody asked, "How are you funding this? The current monthly recurring revenue is not enough to sustain a person and a family. Uh, so how am I funding this?" Back in 2019, I ended up selling my previous startup. It was called Zip Recipes, and ended up selling that for $50,000 Canadian, which I hate saying because it immediately uh, reduces the amount. And I remember it was sold in USD, so whatever that worked out to. And the day that the money landed, I was like refreshing on the exchange rate to make sure that I could actually say it's 50,000, and it is closer to 50,000 than 49,000. It was on that closing day, so I was pretty happy about that because I really didn't want to say like, oh, it got sold for like $48,500 because that's pretty lame. 50,000 sounds a lot better as a whole round number, which is weird. Anyway, I was able to use that initial amount. I put in about 20,000 to develop the first version of the Commerce Owl app. Then the developer that I initially worked with, I could no longer afford him after a few months, and we parted ways. And this was in 2019, and it was at the beginning of this year that I approached him and hired him back, and he's been working with me since. And with regards to funding, how am I funding all this? Basically, it's been beg, borrow, and well, not steal. I have initially, like I said, that sale from the previous company gave me a bit of a runway, which was nice. And then after that, I think what happened is COVID hit, and what became available was the subsidy check from the Canadian government. And since I qualified for it, I used it for about 4 months when they changed the terms of it, and I no longer felt comfortable receiving it. And then I started doing some contracting work, and both me and the developer do some contracting work to be able to pay for the bills, really, and neither of us is 100% on our main product. I hope that clarifies the how are you funding this question. It would be nice to get an external investor to put in money, or we can focus 100% of our effort on this and really get it to grow and get it to start hitting that product market fit sooner. But we're not there just yet.